It has been a while since I've had a look at the Mate desktop environment, and today we are looking at it on the newly released Makulu Linux 6 Imperium, right now on Spatry's Cup of Linux. Okay, let's begin. Now, I have just installed Makulu Linux 6 Imperium, and this is the post-install setup guide, which will allow me to pretty much set this up the way I want to use it. So let's go ahead and proceed. First, it's going to ask for your administrative password. I hope you selected something difficult. Okay, you can set up your repositories, update your system, configure software, set up system settings, and check your drivers. Okay. You're about to set up your repository sources list. In the next window, please select the location closest to you. Alright, USA. Once that completes, it will ask you if you would like to apply current available updates to your system now. Not really. I just did a fresh install, but normally you would press yes. Okay, and then of course this also gives you... Are you running Makulu? Yeah, I'm running in a virtual machine. By the way, I'm not going to back up, so I'm going to say don't show the backup again, because I'm not backing up. Chrome in VirtualBox should work fine. Please use Chromium for VirtualBox in the menu to launch Chrome. Okay. Would you like to keep the default Makulu Linux software? If you don't like the current software sources or choices and you want to install your software, then choose no. Be warned, this will turn Makulu into a bare-bones system with minimal software. Choose wisely. There's no way to undo this step. Okay, that is the kicker here, because this is a great choice for those of you who don't want to have a plethora of software. And let me tell you what, kids, this comes loaded with it. If we look into our menu here, if it will let me here, you're going to see there is a lot of packages in here. Let's go into all applications. All right, accessories, a load of them. Games, a bunch of them here. Many of these you may not even want. Graphics, a number of tools is included with this as well. A bunch of internet tools. This has the Kingsoft Office Suite, so if you wanted to switch to something else, this would be a good option for you. Other sound and video, plenty of tools located here for you. There's a lot of system tools that come with this, administration tools, and then of course all of your preferences. This also has Compiz preloaded on this as well. So if we were to open up the home directory here, all right, you're going to see that Compiz is going on this. Now, during the live CD mode, I've noticed that it has a dock at the top, but it doesn't appear to be appearing at this point. And my only caveat with this was I wish that this had included the Fusion icon so I could easily turn off and turn on Compiz, and this does not appear to have that. So you would click that icon and then would ask you if you want to reboot your computer to shut those settings off. I thought that was kind of inconvenient. But this is a complete operating system. It's based on Debian Jessie or testing, so which has been known to be stable, but it gives you some cutting-edge software in here. So for laughs and giggles, rather than going with its default setup, I'm going to select no, because we want to install our own software on this rather than going with the default loadout. And so what it's doing here, it's using apt-get auto remove to remove some packages, it appears, and it's taking out a bunch of things that this installed so that you have a bare bones system with which to build on top of, which I think is a magnificent idea. When I was testing this in live mode, I figured there were a little bit too many software choices for my personal taste. But the thing is, this is great for those of you who are new to Linux, who want to experience a lot of the software packages that Linux can have to offer. And besides having the Mint menu that I just displayed a moment ago, you also have the benefit of using Slingshot. And that menu is located here. And this is a full screen menu that pops up and gives you a bunch of choices as well. And it's not displaying here presently, probably because it could be just uninstalling it at this point. So pretty much it looks like this is removing a lot of stuff off of this distribution. Great for those of you who want a bare bones system, but personally I think it would have been a better option in the beginning to pick and choose the software selections that are available and decide which ones you want to have installed, rather than going through the lengthy process of installing everything and then having to uninstall all of those packages later with one command. Now this distribution comes in 32-bit only with a PAE kernel. Great for those of you with more than 4 gigs of RAM installed on your machine. But if you have an older computer that does not support PAE, unfortunately, this would not work very well for you. You would have to put in a kernel that is non-PAE for this one to get it to work. Okay, and then next it's going to ask us if we want Compiz and Emerald animation turned on by default in Makulu. And that includes transparent window borders, wobbly windows, the window preview, 3D cube, and other effects. You know what? I'm going to say no this time because, you know, yeah, the Compiz does look cool. We've got it running here. But, you know, not everybody is going to want to have those effects running. So I'm going to go ahead and disable them for this demonstration. Okay, and it tells you that the animation will be turned off on the next reboot. Okay, and do you want a variety wallpaper changer turned on? Okay, and this is what's going to change your wallpapers and that sort of thing. Personally, I'd much rather just have one wallpaper. I don't like them changing, but if you want them to be able to change, you could say yes. I'm going to say no. Okay, and then variety gets shut off on the next reboot. Okay. All right, and do you want Docky turned on by default in Makulu? Yes, we do want Docky. All right, Docky will be turned on after the next reboot. Okay. Do you want Update Manager? Of course you want that turned on. And then it looks like it needs to download something. Okay. I think I better have some more Cup of Linux coffee from my Cup of Linux mug. Get your Cup of Linux mug at cupoflinux.com. Okay, and then Update Manager will be turned on after next reboot. Do you want to configure your time zone settings? Okay. America. Bored. New York. Doesn't let me hit a letter on the keyboard. I gotta scroll through the entire thing. Forward! Do you want to configure your keyboard settings? Yes, might as well do that. Do you want to configure your country locales? No. You have chosen not to do that. Okay, good. Do you want this utility to run again on the next startup? Yeah! Run it every time I start the computer! Okay. Would you... Gosh, I feel like I'm completing a long survey that I just can't get out of. No! Okay. Your system will now reboot for the changes to take effect. All right, and then after a reboot, let's see what we got here. Okay, it looks like we got some updates for the system. This is using the Mint Update Manager. And you can right-click and change desktop background. I really love this configuration that Mate has, because you can really do some kind of cool things with this. You can set a number of themes, and there are a load of them in here. Makulu default, they have a dark blue theme, and there are a bunch of them that this comes loaded with, and they seem to have a strong liking for the darker themes, which is cool. Okay, and you'll see there is a lot of backgrounds that you can choose from. Let's go with this one. I like outer space. Ooh, I like that wallpaper. I might have to nick that one. So cool. All right, and let's go ahead and launch Slingshot. And it doesn't appear to be working in the installed version, but it does work in the live mode. Okay, but you do have the Mint menu here. Calendar, battery indicator, internet, updater, and of course volume control. And then a quick access to your file manager. And now that we've gone ahead and removed a lot of applications, you're going to see that only the basics are here with which to build on top of. So that is good, and that's the way I normally like to have an operating system when I download and install something. I just wish it gave you the ability to pick which programs you wanted to install, rather than just loading you up with a bunch of software that you have to uninstall in the configuration utility afterwards. Now, something I want to note is when I did install this, I used the easy mode. So this is probably why it had so many questions for me in the post-install setup. It probably wouldn't have presented with me with as many questions if I had done the advanced setup. But I was kind of in a hurry, and that's what happens when you're in a hurry to do stuff. So, word of warning, though. All right, so pretty much a nice light enough system that you can easily build on top of. No fancy schmancy compiz effects setup this time around. But all in all, I like the ideas that are presented here. But I think it would be better to give the user the choice of which applications in the post setup that they want to have installed. You know, Makulu recommends this software set. Please check the applications that you want to have. I think that'd be a cooler idea. Probably not that difficult to implement either. Docky at the top of the screen for adding and for all of your applications and that sort of thing. This has a beautiful little workspace switcher as well, where you can switch the different desktops by clicking on this little icon. So 4 workspaces to choose from. All in all, it's looking pretty good. Let's take a quick look at the live version so you can see the difference. Because, yeah, as you can see here, you know, for some reason Slingshot isn't working. Maybe that's something symptomatic of the virtual appliance that I'm using. Or possibly an error in the software itself that I really couldn't say. But Mint menus here, good stuff indeed. So let's go ahead and close this. Okay, and here we are now in the live mode, and you'll see that the Slingshot is working now. And this is an interesting concept because you have quick access to all of your programs, and just rolling the mouse wheel lets you flip through the pages of applications that this comes preloaded with. Okay, and then of course you, if you prefer the Mint menu, they have included this as well. Going into all applications allows you to see that you have a ton of software in here. So great for those of you who want to try a little bit of something, a little bit of everything. They have quite a variety here, to say the least, and you'll also see that here in the docky that they have here. Personally, I prefer not even having a dock because, you know, in Linux, you know, you can make your panel a dock per se. You know, you'll see that there is a number of icons here, and that's something that I've always done. I've put all of my favorite applications right on the dock so I can just access them easily and even, you know, have my own menus and that sort of thing. I like what I see here. It's pretty nice. But personally, I still prefer the XFCE desktop because they brought a lot more changes to it and that sort of thing. But it is nice to see that that Mate is still making a lot of progress, and it's bringing that air of familiarity over to people who really enjoyed GNOME 2 over its successor, GNOME Shell. Good work to the Makulu Linux team. I can't wait to see what you guys crank out next. As a reminder, please consider supporting the show hosts who bring you content you enjoy the most by disabling your ad blockers or shouting some coins. Peace out.